Hola! So let's talk about how shoulds can put you in a bad financial situation. My wife and I, we went to a marriage workshop this past weekend, and of course, there was a finance portion. And I just sat back. I love the content, it's awesome. At one point, the person asked, "Who out here has time put aside in their marriage to talk about money?" Of course, my wife and I raised our hands. No one else did, so I was like, "Okay." I knew that it was eventually going to come out that of what I used to do and the industry that I worked in. She asked, have you guys spent a scheduled amount of time that was longer than 30 minutes?" And we said, yeah, we spent a few hours at our marriage summit just talking about money. And she was shocked. Everyone else was shocked, not just because of how much time we spent, but that we dedicated an entire weekend, went to a cabin out in the middle of freaking nowhere. It was 25 minutes to get to a grocery store. And we just went through our life and what we wanted for each other in our first year of marriage. And so they were really impressed. We got that idea from our marriage counselor. Shout out to Don McLaughlin in Atlanta. So we just kind of had this idea of what we wanted. But my wife said one thing that she has to keep in mind as our friends are buying really awesome homes, having babies, moving, buying cars, retirement, all that kind of stuff. They're more responsible from the outside looking in, but yet we are trying to do things that are more in our vein. And so my wife said that something that she struggles with is not being beholden to the idea that she should be doing something. That we're young, we have enough money to buy a house, and yet we live in an apartment in a pretty inexpensive apartment in Atlanta. But we knew that we wanted to have money left over so that we can pay off debt. And so we don't really want a house. We might be moving sometime soon. So you have no idea what's coming up later. And so putting yourself in a situation where you are told so many times by so many external resources that you should buy a home, or that you should buy a nice car, or that you should buy a nice clothes, like it's just a lot of shoulds. And so that's why I want to name the title of this video, "Shoulding Will Ruin Your Budget." And so that's something that I feel strongly about. Just because someone else does it doesn't mean that we have to do it. Eventually we will buy a home, but a lot of studies say that if you want to buy a home in a big metropolitan area, you have to be there for a certain amount of time to get the payback period. And so we decided, hey, we don't know how long we're going to be in Atlanta, and until we do know how long we're going to be in a specific place, we just choose not to buy a home because, we don't, that's not where our value is. That's not where our value system is. We would rather invest in stocks and bonds and mutual funds and ETFs than to build our wealth based on a home. Because we don't want to deal with the maintenance of it at this point in our lives. We don't want to be trapped in a certain place. And right now our lives are so wide open with us not having kids yet that we could travel the world if we wanted to. So yeah, that's just not, don't should. I don't know how many times I can say that to you, but don't do it, because when you do, you tend to put yourself in positions that may not even feed into who you are, your value system. Like, I can't imagine what it would feel like to live by someone else's value system. That's just a thought. It's just a quick thought. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit that red button below. I'm going to always ask people to subscribe. I'm not jabbing right hook. This is the jab, and then that was the right hook. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. Let me know in the comments below if you have anything that you would like for me to talk about. Q&A will probably come up sometime soon, but hey, we're just going to keep freestyling it for now.